Hey friend, it's Brandon Gustafson. Welcome to Assisted Living Investing. In today's video, we're going to be talking about can an assisted living business actually make you money in 2024? If you're interested in learning about that, make sure you stick around for today's video. Hey friend, I'm Brandon Gustafson. I own and operate 2 assisted living facilities, and I created assistedlivinginvesting.net to help people like you learn the ins and outs of investing in assisted living. Welcome to Assisted Living Investing. In today's video, we're going to be talking about, is it really possible for you to make money with your assisted living business in 2024? I'm sure you've been looking at this and you're like, it sounds cool, but is it too late to jump in? Before we talk about that, though, I want to remind you to get over to the website, assistedlivinginvesting.net. You can get access to our free underwriting calculator. It's going to help you on your investment journey. And you can use a lot of what I'm talking about in today's video and underwrite that on there so you can get a feel for what it would actually look like and see how much money you can actually make in assisted living. So make sure you get over to the website again. It's assistedlivinginvesting.net. Now let's talk about it. Can you actually make money with your assisted living business in 2024? Yeah, you can. You absolutely can make money with it. I want to talk to you a little bit about how much money you can make. And I did a previous video on this, and we'll try to put like a little clip on or link it up above where I messed up gross and net income. And I got a ton of comments for it. And I want to thank those of you who did it because it was one of those things. And I was consistent, man. I was, saying it incorrectly the entire time. So thank you to all of those that called me out on it. And we're going to try to remake this. And I'm hoping that I can do this correctly this time. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about what it means to have your income coming into to your assisted living business. So let's start first talking about gross income. This is all of the money that's coming to you from the beginning. So it is very conceivable for you to make $40,000 in gross income with a 10-bed facility. You could do that pretty easily, I think, actually. So the way that that's going to work, and you could even do this as a Medicaid facility, and we'll link Medicaid up above. I talk a lot about Medicaid because I think it's actually a really good way for you to get in and start your business and become profitable. A lot of people are scared about it, but you don't have to be. You can use Medicaid to get yourself up and running, and then if you like it, then you keep going, and if not, then fine. You're still Medicaid certified, and that's okay. So let's talk about this. For you to get to $40,000 in gross income on a monthly basis, what you need to have is 10 residents that are making $4,000 a month, that are bringing in $4,000 a month for you to get there. 10 times 4,000, that's $40,000. That's how you get it. That's your gross income right there of $40,000. Is that possible? Absolutely. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Medicaid, and if you want to learn more, go make sure you watch that Medicaid video. When you have a Medicaid resident, I'm going to use this as an example to show you how easy this is, how possible this actually is for you to get to the $40,000 in monthly income. You have Medicaid paying you a daily rate. So let's use an example where you get paid $100 a day for your Medicaid resident. $100 times 30 days is $3,000 right there. And I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, that's not $4,000. And yes, I know that. Okay, so let's say that that's the case though. Okay, Medicaid, 30 days at $100 a day, you're at $3,000. Now the other thing with Medicaid is you actually get to collect an amount from your resident from their Social Security. That number is set by the state, and they will tell you how much of that, and typically it's like a percentage that they get to keep and the rest of it goes to you. So in the states where we're operating in Idaho and Colorado, we're able to collect about 800. So 800 plus 3,000 is 3,800, right? And that's still a little bit less than 4,000, but what's more, some residents can actually get charged a share of cost if they make too much money or they have something else coming in from somewhere else, from an investment or something like that. And let's say that they have to pay you an extra $200. This is a real scenario for us. This is something that happens in our facility. So this is not outlandish and I'm not making up numbers here. $100 a day, $800 for my rough is what we call it, a rent, utilities, and food payment, and then $200 for my share of cost. I'm now at $4,000 with a Medicaid resident. Now, if you're doing private pay and you're able to do $5,000, $6,000, now you're up to $50,000, $60,000 in income, which is awesome. Now, I would caution you to make sure that you are taking into account that you're going to have vacancies in your home. So maybe you're licensed for 10, but you're consistently keeping your census at 9. So you have 9 residents in your home. But even at 9 residents, if you are doing $5,000 a month, that's $45,000 in monthly gross income, which is awesome, right? So you're able to do this. This is how you make the money in the business. This is how you get paid. There's a few different ways. I have a video on that one as well. So make sure you go and watch that. How do you actually get paid in your assisted living business? And there's a lot of different ways that you can get paid. So go watch that video. It's going to teach you a lot as you go through that process. Now, let's talk about net income. So net income, this is where people just like kept getting it on me for saying this incorrectly. But net income is going to be your gross income minus your expenses equals your net income. So if my gross income is $40,000 that comes in and it costs me $25,000 to run my business with all of the staffing and the food and the insurance and the debt service and everything, all those expenses that go through there. And I actually have a list, and I don't know if I can link another video, but we'll try, of all the biggest expenses in running your assisted living business. Make sure you go watch that video. But you're going to take all of those expenses there and you are going to minus them from that gross income. Now that's your net income. So if it was, you got 40,000 coming in, cost you $25,000 to operate, you have a profit there. Your net income is going to be $15,000, which is really cool, right? And actually, if you want to get really technical from an accounting perspective, your debt service doesn't count into your net operating income. It's a separate thing. Just for you, from an easiness perspective, I like to lump it in. But if you're working with investors and banks and things like that, you actually don't need to put the debt service in there. Just a quick point. I was working with one of the guys in my coaching program. We were talking about that recently, and I had built that in the calculator, and that was a point of feedback from the investors. Was like, this is really profitable. It looks like a really good deal, but actually could look better because you have the debt service here on your NOI, and it doesn't need to be. So I just made a quick adjustment for him on his calculator and sent it off. And we got some really, really good feedback from his investors that they like the calculator. They love the way that it was put together. I spent a lot of time with him in doing this, and he has just this incredible model that he's doing with a memory care facility. I'm super excited for what he's building. If you want those kinds of results, make sure you get over to assistedlivinginvesting.net, sign up for the calculator, sign up for the course, the accelerator, a course that we've got on the website, and I have mentorships there as well. So make sure you go and apply for those, because it's going to help you out through your process, and it's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you out in your journey to reach your assisted living goals, and it's what I love to do. So make sure you get over to the website and sign up for those things. So I alluded to this a little bit, but let's talk a little bit about your biggest expenses for operating your assisted living business. Your first one's going to be your staffing. It's going to cost you a lot to do staffing. And in my video, I talk a little bit about just like percentage wise, how much each of these things are going to cost you. So make sure you go and watch that. Next one is going to be food. It's going to cost you quite a bit for you to feed your residents. So you want to make sure that you're aware of what that looks like. There's actually kind of a metric that we use in the industry. It's called per resident per day, PRPD. But it basically says, if I have 10 residents, it's going to cost me $10 per day per resident to feed them. So that's $100 per day. And then you can extrapolate that out to a monthly basis, which would put you at $3,000. So it just kind of gives you an idea, really quick metric for you to look at and see what it is you want to. You can actually might be able to find this online somewhere in your area, find some details on this. So it's definitely worth taking a look and see if you can find that type of information out there. Next one is going to be insurance. So your insurance is going to cost you quite a bit as well, but you want to make sure that you have that just in case something comes up where a resident falls or some other event happens. It's always good to have that insurance in place. Next is going to be debt service. And this one, if you're going the SBA route, something that I did not know is it is a variable rate. So it will adjust, which is kind of a pain right now in the climate that we're in because rates have just been going up. And so our debt service payments have gone up considerably, almost doubling what they were when we initially had it. So something you want to be aware of, but your debt service is going to be another huge expense that you want to be aware of. And those are the 4 big main expenses that you want to be aware of. So what do those margins look like? I would say in a smaller home, you're probably looking at something like a 75 to 80% margin, meaning that you're going to probably be able to take, 75 to 80% of your income, of that gross income coming into you, is going to go out as an expense. And then the remaining 20 to 25% is going to remain with you as net income that you get to keep and use for, to pay yourself and show you how profitable you're going to be in the business. So it kind of gives you an idea of what those margins might look like in one of these smaller homes where you've got 10-ish beds in the home. So what that means is if you have gross income of $40,000 and you have a 75% margin, 10%, you're going to have $10,000 of that as your net income. That's what you're going to be able to keep. So it kind of gives you an idea of what that's going to look like. These are just really rough numbers, but I would say they're also pretty typical from what I'm seeing as I go through this process. Does residential assisted living sound interesting to you, but you don't know how to get started? At assistedlivinginvesting.net, we are here to help you through the process, start to finish. I want to thank you for watching. If you have not yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, and get notified every time we go live on the channel. We do that once a week. We also drop these videos out once a week. I've got a lot of content coming out here, some really exciting things that are about to drop. Get over to the website, assistedlivinginvesting.net, get access to that free underwriting calculator, sign up for the accelerator course. Do all the things that you need to do to prepare yourself so you are ready to jump in and start your assisted living business. I want to remind you as well, you can do this. It doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. Just keep going step by step by step. If you keep doing it, you're consistent, I promise you, you're going to be successful. Thanks for watching and have a great day.